Today was an exciting day, everybody. We officially nailed down the plans for the Lego room expansion. By Lego room expansion, I mean the shelving rooms. We're going to be adding more shelving to these rooms, and we have the exact measurements. We have our list of products that we need to order, so that's good. And the changes are even more substantial than I originally anticipated because the expansion is officially leaking over into the Lego city. So today in this video, I'm gonna share my plans with you because I am like thrilled about them, and I just can't stop thinking about them, can't stop talking about them, so let's do it. So I wanna start with the easiest of the changes, and the easiest of the changes are in the Lego Star Wars room, but this is no longer going to be the Lego Star Wars room. It is going to be all the other themes that are currently in this room here. So yeah, all these themes are going to migrate into the Lego Star Wars room, but we're going to be adding 3 new shelves to this room, and this is exactly how we're going to do it. This Billy unit is going to move. These 2 PAX units are going to slide down up against this floating shelf that I have here. I'm going to cut this shelf to the proper length so that it still goes above the door and supports all of our buildable figures. When these PAX units are slid down from the window, it's going to open up a space that's the exact width of this here. Then I'm going to take that cabinet there, put it at the end, but I'm going to put it at a slight angle, similar to the angle that you see over there, but a little more slight. It's going to start right here where I have this line ticked. That's the 15.75 inch line. And that's, of course, the space that we opened up. And these cabinets are going to slide down. So the corner of this Billy, I hope you like my pointer stick, a PAX unit is going to go right there. And the corner of that Billy unit is going to go angled to right there where you see my right angle. And that is 11 inches away, not from the window, but away from the wall, because the windows are actually inset 2 inches. Then we're going to start a row of Billy bookcases. That's these guys right over here. And we're going to put them along here. We can fit 2 of the tall Billy bookcases. Those ones are approximately 31.5 inches wide. So if you put 2 of them side by side, it goes to 63, which is right there. Then we're going to take this one, which is one of the short ones. I've never really liked the way that has looked. Like, why do we have a short one there? It's because there's a thermostat there. It just doesn't look good at all. I think we need to get the shelving up to the proper height so it matches the other ones. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to move that one there next to this up against the wall, and it's going to come to right there. How satisfying is that? Right to the edge, and the short one's going to go there because we have our emergency light right there, and the tall one's going to end right about there. So it's just going to be perfect for that spot. That is like going to be so satisfying. It is just going to be like on the money. A quick mention here, everybody. I've got an exciting event happening this weekend, and it involves this awesome brand new Lego NASA Boeing 747 shuttle carrier aircraft set, but not this one, a brand new one in box. Also, these amazing minifigures from the Lego X Mansion. I'm going to be giving all of that stuff away during my Whatnot Con stream. That's right, this weekend is Whatnot Con on Whatnot. My stream is going down on Saturday, starting at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. That's May 17th. During that stream, I'm going to be giving away all of that awesome stuff, and I'm also going to be auctioning off hundreds of minifigures from the selection that you see before you. An amazing selection that consists of over 2,500 minifigures from every single theme. It is amazing. I'm going to be auctioning off all these figures starting at only $1, and I'm going to be doing it throughout the month of May, and I've got some incredible giveaways lined up, like the 747 SCA. If you're not on Whatnot, you can join using my affiliate link, which is in the pinned comment and description below. Giveaways are free to enter. If you win the giveaways, I cover the international shipping. Should be a ton of fun. I hope to see you there this Saturday. Thank you so much, Whatnot, for sponsoring this video. I discussed this in a LEGO vlog on my other channel, and I officially have the plans as to how we're going to deal with the HVAC. I wasn't really sure how we're going to deal with these heating vents. Oh, I don't know. Are we going to cut a hole in them? What are we going to do? Da, 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 da. I couldn't figure it out, right? I was like not thinking logically in a simplistic manner. So all we're going to do is when we install these new cabinets, we're just not going to install the toe kick. The toe kick does not support the cabinet whatsoever. In fact, it's just held in there by dowels. So I'm just going to not install that. Or what I'm going to do when we place these cabinets is cut the toe kick. So cut it here and cut it here. So you have a hole for the heat. And then I'm going to run boards on the side and on the side so that it redirects the heat not only into the room, but back up the window. You don't really need to redirect the heat. It's just going to go in the bottom of the cabinet. The heat's going to have to go somewhere, and if it's locked in by the wood on either side and the removal of the toe kick, it's going to come into the room, and in the case where there's the window, it's going to go out back, and we have that 2 inches of breathing room, and it's still going to heat the window and defrost the window. So the heating is going to be no problem. I don't know why I was overcomplicating it, but it acts the exact same way as a heat redirect or like a heat deflector, the exact same thing, and it's just wood. It's not going to start a fire or anything. It's just regular old heat. In fact, if you look in this heat vent, there's wood built right into the bloody thing. So no different there. Yeah, just going to put them right underneath the cabinets. Might be a little bit of woodworking involved with the saw and some additional strips of melamine that we have a lot of to make sure it's the most efficient direction of flow. But after reading your guys' comments in that vlog video, and also after consulting with my buddy Stingsbricks, who's really good with this type of stuff, he was like, dude, just like put the cabinet on top, either cut the toe kick or just don't install the toe kick altogether, and the heat's going to come into the room or go up the window. And if you really want to, you can install the boards on either side, and it's going to give you a really efficient flow. It's not a big deal. You're not even really in these rooms that often anyway. You're always working upstairs, so that's where you're most concerned about the heat. It's easy. You're overthinking it, dude. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, you're right. Okay. So then after that, I really got around to measuring with Mrs. Bricksie, and we figured out the numbers. So that is change number 1, many more to come. Let's continue discussing them. The next room is this room here. This one's a little bit more tricky. So actually I already made some changes in this room here. I slid these 2 big PAX units over. The Eiffel Tower used to be right there when you walked in the door. I tucked it in the corner. It's not staying there. I just didn't want to bump into it while I was like measuring around, so I just put it there for safekeeping for right now. But I wanted to slide these over so I could truly get the measurements down right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get another one of those half billy units. The ones in the corner, look at the way these just wrap beautifully. Yeah, I love that. I want to try and continue that same vibe over here, just like we're going to do in the other room there. So we're going to put a half billy bookcase right here. They do have the half PAX wardrobe units, but it wouldn't fit in here. It's got too big of a rear end. It won't fit in there at an angle. And it's going to go from this corner to that line right there. And it's going to connect to PAX wardrobe units, because from that line to the wall is 23 inches. Now this heat vent is going to be in a little bit of trouble there, because it's sort of going to be locked between a PAX unit and a billy bookcase. So it's more so going to be like blowing into this void space that we have in between these 2 units. It's going to be a weird void space there. But the way these heat vents work is they actually feed from over there and then they feed across. So this is the last one. So all I'm going to do is just shut this one, and then all of the heat is just going to come out that one there, which is fine. So half billy there connecting, and now we're going to fit 2 of these giant PAX wardrobe units. So I got to buy 2 more of those, and it's going to go 1, 2, and that's going to come up to right here. Now this is where it gets a little bit weird, because the distance from here to here is not a half PAX wardrobe unit. It's not a half billy unit. There's my 15.75 mark, so it's going to go to right there. So there's a 2-inch gap. It's not perfect, and it's not enough space for the half PAX wardrobe. That would have been ideal, but it is what it is. So now what I'm going to do is just take these 2 units, slide them over, give the door a little bit of more breathing space there, and I have to put them at a slight angle just to meet up with the corner, then so be it. You won't even notice it. If it's at like a slight angle, it'll all work out. And the PAX wardrobe unit's going to go over top of that heat vent, but once again, just going to redirect the airflow so it heats the window and heats the room. And that is the changes for this room with the wrapped shelving. But you probably noticed one other change. I put these 2 units back to back. There used to be 1 unit here and 1 unit over there. I was like, okay, well, maybe we need to buy another unit or another 2 units so that we can put 1 there and 1 there, and we have 2 larger islands, because if we're going to move the Star Wars stuff in here, I like having like the Millennium Falcon and stuff in the center of the room. So I think we're probably going to do that. I think that makes sense. You can have like the Star Destroyer and stuff on these 2 units that are floating in the middle. I did measure to see if we could fit it all the way across, but it would become a little bit too tight in here. Plus I like having the walk-through path between the 2 floating islands in the middle, and with those PAX wardrobe units coming out to here, it's just going to get really tight. So that is definitely not going to happen. So that's what's going to happen in this room, but there's more. There's a lot more. This is going to work out just beautifully for this space. But then I was discussing with Mrs. Bricksie, I was like, how can we make this thing larger? Because it's not a complaint, but one thing that I always say about this room is it's too big. There's not enough stuff in here. These walking paths right here, way too big. You have to think each one of these tiles is 12 inches or a foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet, 5.5 feet roughly. It's way too big. Like there's just way too much space. You do not need a 5-foot walking path. That's just absurd. Right here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, 5 feet of walking space, 60 inches. You definitely don't need that much space. So what I wanted to do is actually expand this in the middle. And we're going to expand it both ways. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to take this one here, which is a Besta unit. It has 3 cubbies. And there's another one on the other side. We're going to take those and we're going to put them on the end. And put it on the end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this one here, which is a double unit, plus the one on the end, which is also a double unit. And we're going to put it in the middle, expanding the cubbies to 4. And we're going to do that on either side. And that's going to increase the size of this island, not substantially, but in a pretty significant way. And it's still going to leave us space for walking around. The interesting thing about that is when you do that, this surface becomes approximately 70 inches wide, which matches the surfaces right here in the medieval area and also in the Lego City. So after I discussed that with Mrs. Bricksie, I was like, okay, if we make these changes, we need to buy 2 more of these end cap units for this project right here. And we also need to get 2 more of those Besta units for this room here. So that's 4. And I was like, oh, what do you want to do? Do you want to buy those? Or do we want to just take them from here? Because there's 8 of those right here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side and 4 on the other side. So then we really got thinking. We're like, okay, well, maybe what you can do is just take these 4 and just put legs on this side. Just cut 2x6s to the proper height and reinforce this all with legs, and then we don't have to invest in those. I sort of came up with that idea. I was like, that's sort of a better plan because now we don't have to invest hundreds of more dollars in more cabinets that we already own and are sort of used as storage right now. Although I don't mind the storage, I think it's good. But then I asked Mrs. Bricksie, I was like, okay, so what's the situation with this medieval table here? Are we building a medieval scene there? I like it, I think it's cool. But we're also expanding this surface. It's going to be substantially larger. So I was like, well, if we got all our colorful sets in here, and all the colorful sets underneath and on these shelves and wrapping in front of the windows. I was like, why can't we just put the medieval diorama right here in the middle of this room? Why can't this be the medieval diorama? I'm like, that's a cool idea. I like that. So then I was like, okay, well, what are we going to use that space for? And I was like, well, you know, one day, a few years from now, we're going to run out of space in the Lego City. It's just what's going to happen. So this space is going to be reallocated to a Lego City expansion. It's not going to happen right away, but the reason we're going to use these cabinets for that project rather than keeping them under there is because eventually this surface here will be dissolved. It will be gone. We're going to have 4 spare cabinets that we can put. We're going to put one probably underneath the world map, one under here for instructions or whatever it may be, and then we've got 2 more. We can use one at home, or we can put one somewhere else here in the studio, a lot of space. And then we're going to get rid of this surface, and when we actually get around to expanding the Lego City, we're going to have this space on reserve, and we're going to custom wood build the tables so they're at the same height as those tables here, and that's going to leave this surface for a Lego City expansion. And I don't think this surface is going to be connected like everything else in the city. I think it's going to be just like this exact size, but wood built to the same height. And then we can have like really cool train bridges and stuff coming across that are all like Lego built. Now that is very, 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 very far in the future. But I think rather than having the medieval here, I think it's going to look cool in the shelving room. It's going to add a really nice pop of color in here. It's still going to be an adequate space for the medieval area. And that's going to free up a ton of space for a Lego City downtown core expansion, or the beach and the ocean moves up front here, and it just gives us that much more space for the city in the future. Now I will say I don't like this wall right here. This wall is not very good. Hits you right when you walk in. We could do something there. We could hang like an art piece there. We could brick build the name wall again, the name brick wall on there. There's a lot of different things that we could do to spruce that particular wall up. And our shopping list for all of this stuff here, it consists of, let me just check on my laptop. So we need 2 of the half Billy bookcases, which are going to go up against the PAX wardrobe units in the new Star Wars room. 3 of the Billy bookcases, which are going to go in the current Star Wars room up to the door there and replace that other short one. And then we need 2 of the PAX wardrobe units, which are going to go in the new Star Wars room as well, as I was just mentioning there. So that's all the stuff that we need to order. And it's going to cost us $750 CAD plus delivery. Oh my gosh. And then we need to order one of these, a Star Wars rug. And the Star Wars rug is going to go in the Star Wars room, the new one there with the odd colored floor, just to make it look even better. Look at that one. It's got X-Wings, or this one. It's got like Darth Vader and Boba Fett, or this one, you know? We're gonna order a cool Star Wars ruggable rug that's gonna go right in the middle between those 2 floating islands and just look super cool. I think it's just gonna pull the whole room together, and I'm pretty excited about that idea too. So that is gonna be a lot of work, because you're gonna have to order that stuff, unpackage it all, build all those new cabinets, get it all installed, make the modifications for the heating vents, take this apart, rebuild that with a new melamine top on top, and pretty much eventually dissolve all of this here and construct new tables. But hey, that's the long-term official plans for the end game of this studio, because I think once that's done, we really can't unlock any more space. That is the maximum amount of space that we will have for the display rooms, this one being Star Wars with that nice rug in the middle and floating islands, and the random rooms with the medieval table in the middle and the Lego City expansion. But hey, that is a ton of space. And now you can see why I was so excited today, because those plans rock. They're awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed the video and discussion of the plans there. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.